CW's Riverdale may be a hit or miss for most people, but the one thing we can all agree on is that Shoni, the pairing of Cheryl Blossom and Topaz, is the greatest thing to ever happen ever. The Bombshell and the Serpent were an unlikely pair from the very beginning, but as season 2 unfolded it became clear that they had far more in common than we originally expected. So today on Beyond the Screen we're going to be counting down the top 10 Choni moments in Riverdale. Let's jump in. In at 10, the drag race. The first interaction between the pair came during episode 6 of season 2, entitled Death Proof. During the infamous drag scene, which saw Archie and Jughead face off against the Ghoulies, Toni and Cheryl have an interaction that left fans shipping, and shipping hard. Toni stands at the starting line ready to wave off the cars, however, Cheryl has other ideas. Approaching with confidence, a scarf in hand as Toni states, "I usually do the honors," with Cheryl responding, "Not today, Cha-Cha. I was born for this moment." The moment was short-lived, but the tension was palpable and the way the two eyed each other was drool-worthy. Coming in at number 9, when Cheryl saved Toni. In season 2 episode 21 we saw Toni get kidnapped by Penny Peabody, member of the rival gang the Ghoulies, in order to pressure the Serpents into selling drugs on the south side. Jughead finds the location and attempts to bargain with the gang, before one of them pulls out a taser. But before our precious Jughead could be harmed, out of the shadows we hear, "Get back, you hobgoblin," with Cheryl emerging from out of the trees dressed like Little Red Riding Hood and wielding a bow and arrow, going full Robin Hood. Cheryl aimed her bow and threatened the Ghoulies into giving up her new crush. Aww, so sweet. In at 8, the bathroom encounter. The bathroom, where it all began. In season 2 episode 14, Cheryl pulls a shady move and tells Jughead that she saw Betty and Archie kissing. After her phone call, Toni exits the bathroom stall after overhearing the entire conversation and questions the redhead, asking if she at least had a reason. Cheryl then pulls her classic Cheryl Bombshell move by explaining to her in the most condescending tone that she is Cheryl Blossom and she can do whatever the hell she likes. However, Toni sees past the facade, and instead of storming out, she tries to comfort Cheryl, seeing that below the hard surface she's suffering. There's a brief pause with Toni's hand lingering on Cheryl's bicep before the redhead screams for Toni to get her sapphic serpent hands off of her body before storming out, with Toni just looking on with a grin.
Your sapphic serpent hands off my body!
In at 7, the musical episode. Now, this moment comes from a deleted scene in Riverdale's musical episode, but it still counts. Let me have this. In the pair's duet, Toni assures Cheryl that she's strong enough to stand up to her mother, before the pair burst into a heartfelt duet that became a shipper scene for the ages. I mean, with lyrics like, "No doubts, no more fears, I see you shine and the dark disappears." How could you not ship them? They're honestly the greatest thing ever. Why the hell was this scene deleted?
You're not done playing Carrie, Cheryl. Not by a long shot.
Coming in at number 6, making it official. In episode 22 of season 2, greatness happens. Cheryl becomes a serpent. Shocker. After Jughead becomes the Serpent King, he makes his first big call, giving Cheryl a serpent jacket and making her an official member of the Serpents. It's an endearing moment and a huge step for Cheryl, who from the get-go was very anti-serpents, until Toni, that is. But the greatest moment of the entire scene is Toni's face when she sees her girl get her own serpent jacket. Coming in at number 5, the almost first kiss. In season 2 episode 16 we encounter a scared Cheryl who feels unsafe in her own home, fearing the ominous intentions of her uncle Claudius. So with that, Cheryl invited the Riverdale High ladies to Thistle House for a sleepover, but during the night while the girls are asleep, Cheryl and Toni lay awake in her bed, with Cheryl confessing that Toni was the only one she really wanted to spend the night with, and that she craved her. The two lean in for a kiss before the moment is interrupted by Nana Rose taking a tumble down the stairs, or perhaps pushed by a member of the Blossom family, because we can never have nice things. In at number 4, You're sensational. Following one of the numbers coming up on our list, in season 2 episode 14, following a movie date, Cheryl and Toni hit up Pops for some after-movie milkshakes, with Cheryl opening up to Toni about why the film they saw had affected her so deeply, and that her mother had destroyed her first romance with a girl called Heather, who she loved deeply, with her mother calling her deviant for having feelings for the same sex. It's an emotional moment, and the first time we truly get to see Cheryl open up about her feelings and her sexuality, with Toni responding with, "Cheryl, I'm so sorry, but you have to know your mother is wrong. You're not loveless, you're not deviant. you're sensational. This scene still makes my heart scream. Coming in at number 3, they finally had sex. We're jumping over to season 3 episode 15 with this number, as we know by this point Shoni have been at it for a while and are in a very public relationship. However, the two find themselves working through their relationship issues when Toni catches Cheryl attempting to break into a safe, with Toni stating, "Earlier tonight you were casing the place, and you wanted me to know," with Cheryl responding, "In the most seductive way possible, what you gonna do? Cuff me?" The two then share some very sensual looks before Toni approaches, slowly unzipping Cheryl's catsuit before the two start getting all hot and heavy in the club after hours. Shoni sex, people. Shoni sex. There's even a blindfold at one point. It's great. Coming in at number 2, that adorable impromptu movie date. Also in season 2 episode 14, following the bathroom encounter, Cheryl and Toni once again have a run-in, this time at the movie theater. Both girls find themselves stood up at the screening of Love, Simon. So Toni offers yet another olive branch to Cheryl. This time, she accepts it, and the two sit together during a film about a boy dealing with his sexuality. Hint, hint.
I'm alone at the movies, and I'm trying to stay away from my mother, who has turned our house into her sexual playpen.
And lastly, in at number 1, their first kiss. Following most of our previous numbers, Cheryl's mother sends her away to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy for her deviant behavior, aka for being gay. However, Toni, along with Veronica and Kevin, stage a break-in and a full-on rescue, with Toni storming into the room, calling out for Cheryl and announcing that she's there to rescue her. The two embrace, which culminates in our very first Shoni smooch. Well, there we have it. Do you agree with our Shoni picks? Were there any moments that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Please, can we do a part 2? If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Beyond the Screen vid. And until next time, see you later.